What's up, YouTube? It's LaSwagga. I'm trying to use this fucking YouTube record from my webcam thing, and it's just being a total pain in the ass. So this is like my third time recording this video. If you see it, then you know that this one is the one that succeeded. Anyway, so the video's title is Asian Overlord Syndrome. I call it Asian Overlord Syndrome because I feel like it's a condition that most competitive gaming communities suffer from equally. But because I'm a fighting game player, I'm going to speak specifically about the fighting game community. And the last couple of times I recorded this video went on for about 11 minutes, so I'm going to try to cut it a little short this time. But basically, for those of you who have been paying attention, the Reddit group Kappa helped put forth money to bring the Japanese Tokyo Game Show champion Pepeday to America so that he could play in TFC. They gave him enough money to have a translator, hotel, all of his fees are basically covered. The reason why this bothers me is not because I don't feel like he should have been there. Based off of his gameplay, I honestly feel like Pepeday is a great player. I watched him play all TFC, and I have nothing bad to say about his gameplay. However, I feel like the only reason he got invited was because he's an Asian. Yeah, he beat Daigo, but honestly, what does beating Daigo at this point in time mean, really? He won a tournament, fine. But if you really think about it, when has Japan ever forked up money to bring a champion American player who's done something great at a tournament like Smug to bring them to Japan? And I'm not talking about a company like Mad Catz or Capcom or anything. I'm talking about the Japanese community forking up money to bring a player from our community to Japan to play, just out of the kindness of their hearts. Now, I understand that Japan is a little bit different in how they operate than America is. I know we care more about that kind of thing, but that's the reason specifically for why I kind of feel like we have this complex where if an Asian does something or picks up a game, be it StarCraft or Hearthstone or League of Legends or anything, we have to bring them here. We have to see how they play because we're convinced that they know something that we don't know. And I'm honestly tired of seeing people tell themselves this. These Koreans and these Japanese players are not that good. Their skill level is not out of the range of something that we could do easily. The difference between their players in their community and our players in our community is that their players, who are even their players of average skill level, when they sit down next to a player who's well known, like Daigo, or Mago, or Tokido, or Momochi, or any of those people, they don't have the same concept of I'm fighting this legendary player. They're not nervous. They don't change their game plan to fight the people that they're up against, like what happens in America. How many times have you been to a major, if you travel, how many times have you been to a major or heard one of your friends say, man, I have PR Balrog in my bracket. I better hope, this is a hell bracket. I better hope I don't have to deal with him or else I'm just going to get eliminated. Because, well, it's PR Balrog and he's so great. Like, how many times have you heard that? Because I've heard it a lot. And it pisses me off every single time. Not because PR Balrog isn't a good player. He's obviously a great player. But I hate that people cling to these past matches and these YouTube replays and these streams of things that these players have done before. All it shows is that they're capable of doing things if you put it in front of them. PR Balrog doing an autocorrect ultra on Tokido at CEO. That's not something that he just made happen. He can only do what Tokido allows him to do to him. He can't change the rules of the game to bend them, to make them play his way. That's called cheating. And if that were the case, he still wouldn't be that great. He'd just be a cheater. But because we know PR Balrog is not a cheater, we then have to say, Tokido let that happen. I let that happen. Daigo let that happen. Whatever the case may be. It's not PR Balrog stomped me and I didn't have a fucking chance, so I just got rolled in the losers bracket or rolled out of the tournament. You have a chance. You just have to understand that you getting rolled out of your bracket is up to you. And a lot of the time, PR Balrog, if you watch his stream and shit, you'll see that he fucking sits there and lets these people kill themselves. I've watched him play. I have played these people. Dominion and Reinhardt and Ricky and Justin and PR. I've played all of these people, and I can tell you right now, it's the same story every time. The people that I watch them beat the hell out of before I sit down, they get beat because they keep doing stupid shit. PR Balrog was practicing Evil Ryu at CEO 2014. He was literally just sitting there waiting for them to put a bad normal out or bad jump in or whiff a throw or something just so he could land crouch and mid kick and Hadouken. He knew he would get it eventually because that was the habit of the person he was playing, and it's a universal habit. It's called scrub slaying. If you're not a scrub, you don't have to worry about that. If you are a scrub, then you know you have something to work on. Point being here, the Japanese players don't have that mentality. They come in, they sit down, and they play their game. If they're bad, then they're bad, but they don't tremble. They don't tremble by looking up at this big mountain known as Daigo Umehara. You know, they don't change how they play because they're worried that if they push a button at this particular time, Daigo is going to full combo them for their entire health bar. Street Fighter 4 does not work that way. It may work that way in Marvel, you know, other games that you have to worry about that kind of damage for. But in Street Fighter 4, you have the ability to make mistakes. So you have to learn to play. Just play your game. If he random DPs and hits you one time and lands the Ume Shoryu, then so be it. But keep playing. You're probably going to beat him if you're good. Because at a certain level of Street Fighter 4, at a certain level of competitive play in general, two people who are really good at the game have equal chance of beating each other at any given moment. Any moment. It's not a matter of who gets stomped or anything. It's who is mentally prepared to do what it takes to win. But America doesn't have that. Instead, we like to sit here and fanboy and throw our hands in the air and be crazy over, you know, who the next up-and-coming Japanese star is. When really who we should be focusing on right now is Luffy in Europe. Luffy is our Evo champion. But we didn't bring him back here. We didn't bring Luffy to TFC. We brought the Japanese El Fuerte to America. For what? So he could show us that El Fuerte is a good character? Okay. I'm pretty sure there's a better El Fuerte player in America right now that we could have gotten here for a couple $100 easy. Or at least an equally skilled El Fuerte player. I mean, hell, Ski Sonic almost made it out of his bracket if you want to be specific about it. And he was in the same bracket as Pepeday was. But Americans, we don't have that. We don't have the ability to pay attention to what's important. We just like to fanboy over the Asians. And that's how it is in most gaming communities. The Asians. Koreans this, the Chinese that, Japanese this. Like, let it go, man. Right now, in Street Fighter 4, in the fighting game community, the best region, you can't argue until next Evo that it's Europe. Europe and the people that Luffy plays consistently. Why aren't they here? Why aren't they here? Because they're not Asian. That's why they're not here. We don't care about what they're doing. Because they're not our Asian overlords. That shit needs to stop. Like, that really needs to stop. We're the only country that does that shit. Seriously. And because we're the only country that does that, we constantly stay behind everybody else. Shit needs to stop. Peace.